All right, welcome to another session of DGX Compare. Today we're going to be testing one of my favorite models, Qwen 3.5, but this is the 122 billion parameter model, but it's quantized down via NVIDIA FP4 to 10 active parameters, 10 billion active parameters. So it's a mixture of experts model, which makes it suitable to be fitting on a single DGX Spark. So I know we have two DGX Sparks there, or two DGX devices, one Spark and one Acer GN100. And they're clustered together, but we're actually not using parallelism today. We are actually just doing single nodes. So essentially the DGX Spark, which is that screen right there, is running as a server, and this is a client. And later on we'll do a test where we're simulating two users hitting the model concurrently. So a little bit about Qwen 3.5. It's one of my favorite models because it's been tried and true. So as I said earlier, it's 122 billion parameters quantized down to 10. It's a hybrid gated delta net mixture of experts model, and it can handle 262 native tokens, but you can pretty much do a million if you needed to. We're not going to be able to get to that because right now we're probably using 95% of the available memory. It's 128, let's say a gig for the operating system, and another gig for, I guess you can say, the container, as well as Claude running in the background, and of course OpenWebUI. So it's the very, very little space, or very, very little storage space for KV cache. So we're going to be doing small conversations, very short conversations, because if we didn't, it would just give us gibberish. Let's see, what else do we need to know? It's a hybrid attention architecture. So what they do is they actually do gated delta networks with linear attention variance. And that's actually kind of cool because that allows for really smooth processing for the context. A little bit later on, what I'll do is I'll actually deploy the model to use parallelism. So we're hosting it on two DGXs as a cluster. But what I wanted to show here first was what happens when you actually do it on one device. All right, let's actually go ahead and do some tests. Activity monitors up and running. You guys have seen the memory, and here we go. The tokens are, I'd say, 10, 15 tops. I actually didn't type anything as a query. I clicked on something. So it's actually deploying something based off of a click. But while that's happening, I'm going to start doing our usual query. Tell me all about Tyrannosaurus Rex. And Tyrannosaurus is misspelled. And we did something a little bit different today because I wanted to do the query while there's actually a session handy. I don't want to start at root. So we've done I clicked on something earlier and talked about 5 creative things I could do with my kids' art. And now I'm going to ask it about dinosaurs. And by the way, while that's going on, I'm actually also querying down here, tell me about elephants. So we're doing two things at once to be able to hit and simulate two users hitting the model at the same time. The token speed is just horrendous. That's probably sub 10. That's sub 10, definitely sub 10. We're all the way red. System memory. I'm surprised that hasn't crashed yet. If you look over here for the activity, yeah, it's a lot of 100% there. So CPU 6 is 100%. CPU 7 was 100. Yeah, see the high marks there. haven't seen us go to disk yet, but the moment it goes to disk, it's gonna crash. So swap is 72 gigs out of 90. But right now we're still stable, it's still running, but this is not usable. If I were working in a business and this is the query and I go fetch a cup of coffee and I come back, it's still not done, that's a problem. Yeah, this is probably 10. I'd say 10. So the elephants is already done. Remember, this is just running as a client. And the server is still going with the query for dinosaurs or T-Rex. Okay, that's completed, and as you can see, the GPU is all the way down to close to 0%. I will actually do one more query, but I don't want to crash it, so I'm going to open up a new chat, and I'm going to actually test out the tooling. I'll test our favorite CSV file. This is a CSV file of 398 rows against 9 columns of car data. And I'm going to ask it to analyze this file. Tell me all statistics for all columns and rows. Sorry about the slow typing, I'm doing it left-handed. All right. There's typos in there, which is, I guess, fine. They'll figure it out. It did pull the rag, so it did identify ASCII tooling. But look, it's actually only looking at 3 rows. That's not a good thing because it's actually 398 rows. So this is one of those things I was talking about earlier where because we don't have enough KV cache, and again, this is a new chat, it is unable to open the file in its entirety, so it's only basing it off of a subset of the data. And it actually says right there, I'm only looking from 3 rows in the context. So this just goes to show that just because we can load a model into memory, it doesn't mean it can be used properly, right? You can ask it things like, tell me about elephants or dinosaurs, and it'll run fine to an extent. Explain options trading, right? So it'll still run, but the problem here is the moment you want to do something meaningful, like open up a file, it won't be able to do it. So while that's talking about stock options, let's go to the client here and how do elephants communicate with each other? And let's look at this one. So here it's running, so 2 running at once. So we have concurrency there. It hasn't degraded that much. It still looks decent. But see the spikes in activity over there. And again, we are so close to max, right? We're actually already in the red. But they do run. But again, small context only. The important part is that you can actually load the model. And I guess if you wanted to use this for, say, doing some agentic coding with your code base, and you just needed it to do the work and you don't really care about the speed, it could work. But definitely not single node, because there's no way you can load a code base with that little KV cache available. So I'm going to go ahead and set up the cluster so we can do this test again, on this time spanning two DGXs. And I'm anticipating that system memory will go down to 80. It'll be 80/80 here and split. And then we'll have more cache to work with. All right, so that concludes this test, and And I'll set it up and I'll upload the next video. Again, Qwen 3.5 122B, quantized down to 10 billion parameters active, mixture of experts on one DGX Spark.